People said it would never happen, but it has. After signing a licensing agreement with Canon, Sigma has been very busy. As of April 2024, Sigma has been developing their own brand new line of Canon RF-Mount lenses. Now, I'd be lying if I said there wasn't any limitations to this new partnership that I'll talk about here in a minute, but nonetheless, I'm excited to start sharing everything there is to know about one of the 6 new RF lenses that Sigma is releasing, and I have it right here. Introducing the Sigma 18 to 50mm F2.8 DC DN lens for Canon RF-Mount. I'm Andrew from Pixel Connection, and first opening up this demo piece provided to us by Sigma, we have our user manual, and that's about it. There is no included pouch or anything like that, but this lens does come with a detachable pedal type hood. A few quick notes to talk about before we start breaking down the specs and sample images I took with this lens. All of the new lenses being produced by Sigma are crop sensor lenses. The DC in the name means crop sensor, while DG would mean a full frame sensor. The DN stands for mirrorless cameras, which is pretty much the standard that we're going to see from here on out. So again, DC, DN means crop sensor lens for a mirrorless camera. Which brings up the main limitation in that Sigma has not yet been authorized by Canon to produce lenses for their full frame mirrorless line. But hopefully we will see those someday soon. And although it's not a big deal, it should be noted that this lens is technically not a brand new invention. This lens is basically a duplicate of the already developed Sigma 18 to 50 f2.8 for L mount, Sony E mount, and Fujifilm X mount, so take that for what you will. With all that said, that does not mean that this lens can't produce no matter what camera you put it on. In testing this lens out, I put it on 2 different crop sensor cameras. I put it on the R50 as well as the R7, which are both great cameras for beginner and intermediate photographers, which are who I think this lens is targeted for. But if for some reason you are starting out but you have a Canon full frame RF mount mirrorless camera, then this lens still will work for you and your camera will actually adjust automatically to accommodate for that 1.6 times crop, and it will adjust for that natively, so it will avoid any nasty vignetting going on. The only other comparable lens to this one would be the Canon 18 to 45 f4.5 to 6.3 STM lens, which is commonly referred to as a kit lens, but when comparing photos between the two, the Sigma wins in almost every category. Both lenses have the same autofocus area coverage, 80% horizontally and 80% vertically of the sensor, and is very responsive in picking up subjects entering the frame. This lens is very compatible with almost all the Canon lens menu functions. This lens is also compatible with all the in-camera stabilization features. Your Canon camera will actually detect the focal length of your lens and optimize the image stabilization accordingly. As of now, the only thing we can tell that is not compatible with this lens is Canon's digital lens optimizer, or distortion correction, but everything else works just fine, and from the sample photos, I believe all these features really produce a nice clean image regardless. On the lens, there is not much to report. There are no buttons or switches because this lens is so compact, and when zoomed out all the way at its widest angle, the lens measures around 4 inches, and when zoomed all the way in at its telephoto end, it's around 5 inches long. Whether you zoomed in or out, the lens won't slide around on its own, but it will move with a bit of pressure applied. A quarter turn is all that's needed to zoom all the way from one end to the other, and the manual focus ring isn't too touchy, but still quick and smooth and delivers a quick action. With that, I did find it took some extra concentration when using manual focus because it is still kinda loose. To switch between manual focus and autofocus, you have to do that within the camera menu system. This lens weighs around 10 ounces, so it's super lightweight and easy to travel with, whether you're shooting large landscapes or street photography or maybe even some portraits. This mount incorporates a rubber seal to protect the mount from dust and water drops and utilizes Sigma's thermally stable composite or TSC construction. For lack of a better word, this lens is weather resistant and built with Sigma quality, and it feels great to use and great to handle, and it doesn't feel cheap. This lens has a 55mm filter size if you're going to add any filters, but this lens does come with a textured flower lens hood that does allow the lens to stand up on its own for the most part. This lens is a 2.8 aperture all the way through, which is so nice for this price and this quality. I know if I was just starting out, this lens would be the top of my list to get first, or even just to lighten your kit. If you'd like to pre-order this lens, it's now available on thepixelconnection.com, and we will be the first place to have these lenses when they officially release. The minimum focus distance on this lens is 12 centimeters at its wide end and 30 centimeters at its tele end for macro style photography. When we're talking about image quality, this lens checked all of our boxes, especially for a small stature and its price. We didn't see much flaring or sunspots, and chromatic aberration pretty much doesn't even exist anymore, and the bokeh imagery is just lovely. But we want to hear what you think. Can you think of a better lens for the cost, or is there another Sigma lens coming out that you're particularly excited for? Let us know in the comments below. For more information about this lens, feel free to reach out to us here at the Pixel Connection, or you can stop by one of our store locations and try this lens out for yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time.